What up, everyone? It's your boy Satemangala, the Reverend of the Revolution, welcoming you to another edition of Your Daily Revolution, the podcast that helps you to wake up, turn your brain on, and to prosper every single day in every part of your life. Today's topic, transformation through the truth. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I love having conversations of transformation. That's what it's all about in this life. Becoming, changing, growing, reaching for the things that you've always wanted, accomplishing them, becoming a completely transformed person. So how does this work? Well, transformation comes by telling the truth. It's really, really simple, my brothers and sisters. If you can do what you say you're going to do, and do it one step, and then one step, and then one step, and then execute one step, and do what's required one step at a time, you'll transform your life. You know, I want you to understand that the self-help, personal growth development, that whole industry, which is ironically I'm a part of, what really needs to happen is more than anything, uncoaching and unlearning. Really, that's it. Uncoaching and unlearning. Why? Because more people today read more books. We have more information readily available. And yet we have more poverty, more disease, more misery, more unhappiness. So I want you to understand, you don't need a lot of information. That's part of the resistance of transformation. I need more information is code for I don't want to do the required work. Now, there's a small group of people who are going to need some information, and those are the beginners. But even then, really all you need to do to learn how to, for example, build a business is, well, what's the next step? And you get the next step. You know, if your business is booming, you simply say, well, what's the next thing I've got to do? And it's only one thing. You don't need a lot of information. One of the greatest things you can do, aside from uncoaching and unlearning yourself, meaning unlearn the lies and myths that you currently live by. And there are things in your life today that are simply unworkable. You know it, and I know it. It's unworkable. How do we know? Because it's not giving you the results that you want. It's not giving you the things that would make you happy, that would bring the results to you. It's causing you to go into surface confusion, just over and over doing the same thing, wondering why you're not getting results. But if you would learn to simply distinguish what's right in front of you, and to distinguish what's in front of you simply means to make it clear, to see the difference, to make the contrast. You know, there's like riding a bike and then distinguishing balance. In order to ride a bike, you've got to understand there's this thing called balance and momentum. And if you can't do it, or you can't distinguish balance, then you'll never ride a bike. But once you get on the bike, fall, skin your knee, like my little 4-year-old, he just turned 4, so I'm like, wait, he's not 3. But he's learning how to ride a bike, and he's got training wheels on there. And he's starting to distinguish, well, if I get going really fast, we live in this little cul-de-sac, and there's an incline going out of the cul-de-sac. So he rides up, then he comes down, and he's like, I could see the fear on his face. But he doesn't quite know how to brake yet. He hasn't distinguished the braking. So instead, he just hits the driveway, and there's a good little bump, and then it slows him down. And he got a big grin on his face, and he's happy. But that's it. Like, he's starting to distinguish. If I go too fast and I don't know how to stop, I'm going to wreck and scratch myself, which he already did. So he distinguishes. He makes it clear. And, you know, this game of transformation, the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and moods, brothers and sisters, they're always going to be in your head. Always. They're always going to be there. Unwanted thoughts, feelings, emotions, and moods. They never go away. You could be rolling along in ultimate prosperity, totally creating greatness, having great time with the family, and the lizard brain, right, the little piece of meat on the back of your brain, that amygdala, croc brain, reptile brain, I call it the lizard brain, is going to produce thoughts, feelings, emotions, and moods that just don't serve you. So how do you overcome this? Well, you simply take the action. You do what's required, one step at a time. And the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and moods, they get weaker and weaker as you train your lizard brain to follow you. Now remember, this lizard brain is not a bad thing. It's not bad at all. And if someone jumps into your home and you're unaware, like your lizard brain, it causes you to react immediately. If you're driving along and someone pops in front of the car, like, you don't have to send wavelengths and messages from your foot to your brain back to your foot. You just react. It's said that back in, and whether or not this is true, I mean, the analogy works for me, but, cavemen, they had a lizard brain. It prevented them from getting eaten by the saber-toothed tigers or getting eaten by dinosaurs. The problem is today in 2016, when I'm shooting this podcast, or recording this podcast, the lizard brain wants you to play small. It doesn't want you to grow. It wants you to stay comfortable. It doesn't want you to expand. So whatever level of income you're at, that's good. That's good for the lizard brain. It wants you, okay, this is safe. Whatever your body's at, whatever weight it's at, you keep trying to lose, or maybe you're trying to gain muscle, the lizard brain wants you to stay the same. It doesn't want you to grow. And here's the really beautiful piece about this. You don't have to understand it. People say, I want to try to figure it out. It's difficult to figure out. You don't figure it out. You just get it. It doesn't do any good to understand, this whole concept of, can I do what's required? Just be it. I like rocket scientists. Like rocket scientists, they don't try to get it. They've become who they need to become, and they can execute and do the things that are required to become great rocket scientists. Or even like being a non-smoker or a non-alcoholic. And people are like, oh, I don't know how to stop smoking. And I'm like, it's easy. Just be a non-smoker. Like, this is the faster path, the simple path. But people need all these different, like the 14 steps, and you'll never believe what step number 6 is. That's called marketing. There's nothing wrong with marketing. But if you want to get to the results faster, be who you need to be. Non-smokers, non-alcoholics, non-sugar, overeating addicts, and whatever, non-lazies, productive people, they just do what they say they're going to do. They don't think about it, they just do it. They don't go through the stories, they just sit down and do their work. They don't think things to death. Maybe you're a person who thinks things to death. Do you think things to death when it comes to working out, fitness, and nutrition? I'm not sure if I should wear this outfit, not sure if I should go to the gym, maybe I need more rest, and pretty soon 2 months go by and you put on like 5 pounds. In spiritual matters, you don't have to think it to death. Well, should I pray? Is God listening? Should I worship? Which religion? Which church? I don't know if this is even right. And pretty soon 2 years has gone by and you're in the same spot. With marriage and family. Don't think. Just take one step at a time. Take your wife out on a date, or take your husband out on a date. Be more present with your kids. At the time I'm recording this podcast, it's summertime. Which means what? Put your phones down and be present with your children. You don't need to be glued to your damn phone. Come on now. See, powerful transformation comes and when you can see what you can't see, and then you can be what you can't be so that you can get what you currently don't have. Can you do it? There's no magical anything about this process of transformation. It's simply being vigilant and noticing what's going on and being aware, then making a choice. So brothers and sisters, the real question is, are you transforming your life by telling the truth? Are you able to uncoach and unlearn the things that aren't working? And can you speak in a manner that impacts the conversation? Listen, brothers and sisters, this is really simple. Do what you said you're going to do. It's simple, right? It's simple. With business, do the things you said you're going to do. Stop thinking about it and get it done. Get it done, that's it. Really, really simple. Can you operate out of space and not simply out of time? What do I mean by operating out of space? Like, we're always in some type of space. Can you operate wherever you are, regardless of circumstances and situations? I would say study less and be more. Now, the personal growth and development, it's all about study more, read more books. But, the books don't mean anything if you don't put them to action. And it doesn't do any good to read 30 books and brag, I read 30 books this year. Well, cool. What did you do with it? It's not about what you're learning. It's about what you're living. So what do you have to do with the things that you've already learned? And brothers and sisters, if you'll do this, and you'll stop looking for more information, but you'll just start to live what you know and do what you said you would do, you'll be amazed at what happens. This is your boy, Sate, reminding you, if you're going to create a life of real radical results, a life that you love, it's going to require you to get into a relentless pursuit with a ruthless commitment to pay the piper every single day so that you can get to the top of your mountains where your prize, your promised lands, and your possibilities are waiting, just waiting for you. The revolution has begun. I'd love to see you be a part of it. I'm out. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.